let's get this party started. Welcome, everybody. Do me a favor. Let me know what city, state, or country you're from. I always like to take a look in the chat. And then we'll go from there. I'll give it a few seconds just while everybody decides to tell me where they're at. Seattle, nice. Is it cold today in Seattle? Windy, hot? I was just in Bellingham last week, and it was kind of warm. I was like, damn, it's kind of warm for Seattle. Oregon, Tracy, I hear there's fires in Oregon. Hopefully you're okay. Florida, Bradenton. I don't know where that is. I know where Lubbock, Texas is. Paseo Robles, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Virginia. We're all over the place. Let's get started. I'm going to do some live work with you today to give you a better idea of how to actually create engagement on social media and how to grow your social media audience. Now, there's a two-part combo here. There's something that just came out today through the Wall Street Journal, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But when it comes to social media and growing your brand, it really comes down to two things. So you want to write these down. And I still have the cough from COVID, but so don't mind my cough. Two things. Number one, your job is to create consistent content. That's job number one, but it doesn't end there. Denver, Colorado. Thanks. I love it. Number two is engagement. And I think Jeff's popping in here, or maybe not. Maybe it's Tracy. Let me just bring her down. There we go. All right. I'm waiting for Jeff. Jeff's going to join us as well. Number two is creating engagement. And if you're familiar with the way that I run things in our businesses, is I have a calendar. If you're ever wondering what it is that you need to create as far as content, I really say start with your pillars. Start with what you gravitate to. Start with the things that you absolutely love. And I have two things for you here, and I'll dump both of them inside of the chat. The very first one is a set of questions that I outlined just a few days ago, and I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to take you through this because this is actually probably the most important place to start when it comes to social media and attracting the right audience so that you can get business and grow. Here it is. It's a set of 9 questions for you. We'll go through them really quick. But first, let me grab them and share them with you so you have them. I need you all, even if you already have this down, I need you to go through them because it'll identify a deeper niche. Here, I just dropped it in. You can open it in the chat. Let me know if you can open it. Just give me a yes. There you go. I see you guys coming in. Question number 1 is, who's your audience for your for your business? We don't often think about it, but when you think about this specifically for real estate, who's your audience? Are you targeting first-time home buyers? Are you targeting people that already own a home that may want to downsize? Or are you targeting maybe people that own a home and want to upgrade? Are you targeting people that are buying homes in a vacation home rental area? Who is your audience? It's important for you to understand that. Number 1, who's your audience? Number 2, what do you enjoy doing on your spare time? This is important because it narrows down how you start connecting with your audience better. I'm going to stop sharing really quick. Why is that important? Because I'm going to connect with you on social media, probably not because of what you do for a living, real estate. I'm going to connect with you because of something that you love doing that you allow me to connect with, whether it's you love cats, whether it's you love kayaking, you play video games, you love journals like I do, or you travel a lot, or whatever you love cars, specific type of car. Start asking yourself questions that can help you niche down because that's important. Oh, wait, we had a question here. Who's your audience, or who do you want your audience to be? Alex, great question. I think that depending on where you're at, it could be who's your audience right now. And if you're comfortable with them, great. Or one question that I asked myself a few years back is, who do I want my audience to be? And that allowed me to grow into targeting more luxury audiences in Malibu. So great question, Alex. Now, number 3, what are you better at than most people? What do you do better than most people? Not everyone, most people. That the answer to that can also help you identify your pillar or your superpower, things that you gravitate to showing on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook Reels or YouTube. Next, when going to social media, what do you gravitate to watching the most? Because what you gravitate to the most, chances are you probably enjoy that. And you can also envision yourself either doing something along those lines. I mean, if you gravitate to comedy and you suck at comedy, no. I'm talking about where you gravitate to and then envision and like, hey, you know what? I like this one. This one I could probably do, right? So start asking yourself that question a little bit more. It's like, what am I watching and why? Number 5, do you have any family or pets that you can talk about or showcase on social media? We often see that pets and kids do incredibly well. If you want to go that route and include that into as one of your pillars into social media, that works. Number 6, do you have any hobbies that you spend a lot of time on or a lot of time doing? I know some people do great with this one, so ask yourself that. And if you have any questions, do me a favor, put them into the Q&A or into the chat. I can see it. I'm monitoring it right now. Number 7, is there anything special about the city, town, or location you live in that others would be interested in knowing about? And for me, I'm in Malibu. So when I shoot anything Malibu-wise on TikTok, if you scroll back down when I was doing that, they would get thousands of views and hundreds of thousands of views in some cases. So depending on where you're at, if you know that there are special things about your town or things to do, that can also be a pillar as well that attracts the people, especially in TikTok, where they love identifying you based on the geotag. And that gives you a lot of love locally. So that's a very important one. And then here we go as number 8. If you could only talk about one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be? And I want you to answer this one because I ask myself this question often, and I went over this question with somebody just 2 days ago. And I'm like, damn, what would that be for me? If I could only talk about one thing for the rest of my life on social media, what would that be? Answer it with me, and I'll tell you what mine is. Books. I could probably talk about books for the rest. I love reading, so I'm going to go ahead and read, and then I'm probably going to talk about something I learned about the book, a quote, a thought, something I'm going deeper in. Answer it with me here. I've got one answer, Wendy, the ocean. What about the ocean, right? Is it the sea animals? Is it the actual beach? Is it the things to do on the beach? Is it that, what do you love doing on the ocean? Ask yourself deeper questions, right? Brian, sports, what sport, right? Remember, the deeper you go with this niche-wise, the more social media rewards you. Music, Susan, what type of music? Who are your favorite artists? Do you play any instruments? Why do you like music? Baseball, Paul, I love it. Now, who's your favorite team? Paul, right? Who are your favorite players? Did you ever play baseball? Go deeper, right? This is one pillar that can go super deep. Ruth, the importance of the arts in your life. I love that. Ruth, what type of arts, right? I want to know, get specific. Bouchamp, travel, where? Do you prefer traveling to specific areas? Is it foreign? Is it in the US or Canada? Where? Why? Private plane? Maybe not. Pilates. I love Pilates. Only Pilates? Like, are there different types of Pilates? I don't know enough about Pilates to know, but that's a good one, Sarah. You could probably create a great following just on Pilates. Barry, parenting. I just did an Instagram and TikTok this morning on parenting. I'm like, I may test that one out because I love that my kids screw up all the time and they come to me and they're like, Daddy, I think I screwed up again. And I'm like, oh, good. So that's a good one. All arts, music especially. Ruth, I'd probably dig into that one a little bit more and get specific, because what we've noticed over the years is as TikTok and YouTube have gone deeper with their algorithm, they're rewarding people that go niche. So people that go deeper into it. So if we're looking at arts, music, especially, what type of music, right? So go deeper. Paul, Dodgers. Oh, nice, man. Who doesn't love the Dodgers? I love that. I love the Dodgers. So go deeper, go deeper. Life's purpose. Anna, that's awesome. I would incorporate maybe some type of philosophy that goes with that. And Carrie, silver linings. I love that as well. There's a lot of silver linings and things that don't look like silver linings that you can also look at. And Carrie, you could also duet on TikTok and on Instagram, other people's silver linings, and you could just say, that's amazing. Just point at it. You can get millions of views on videos like that. Ileana, exercising, get specific as to what type of exercising. Jermaine, me, you are different, Jermaine. So what about you though? What about you? Ileana, so if you like, for example, exercising, how often do you mention real estate? That's a question. That's a great question. So let me show you then. That takes me to the next part of this. Let me get it for you. It's a calendar that we set out every month. It's free. And I'm going to go to the September one just to show you what it would typically look like if we're going to choose real estate and let's say 3 other things. All right. And this is the September one. What's the date today? September 13th or something, maybe 14th. I don't even know what day we're. Oh, 13th. There we go. So what I typically say when you're starting off, just so you can identify your pillars, besides answering the questions here, is I like to take you through this cycle. And this cycle is 4 things. It's sell, teach, advice, you, right? That's it. It goes through sell, teach, advice, you. Obviously on the selling part, you're selling with a story. And hopefully you're allowing me to connect with you through that story, through real estate. Right. And then if you're teaching, this is where it doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. This is where Ileana, it can come down to exercising, right? Jermaine, you don't like the Dodgers. Well, you could do a whole TikTok on you hate the Dodgers. There you go. But Ileana, when it comes to exercising here, it could be the different types of Pilates. And now you're alternating between real estate, teaching about real estate specific things, and then teaching about exercise. And then you could also go even further when it goes to advice. You can go there on exercise as well. Or it could be something different. You could just remember these right here. If you're following these are just prompts to help you think deeper, right? And then the last one, sell, teach, advice, you, and then you can talk about yourself. Going back to, who was it that said, Jermaine? It was you. This is you. Show me what you're eating. Show me what you're doing. Show me where you're going. Show me your kids if you want to, or your pets. Tell me what's going on. The thing that makes social media work is you. You is the differentiating factor here, and we don't use enough of it, right? People want to connect with you, and you've heard this thousands of times, maybe thousands of times, maybe hundreds in some cases, but people want to work with people that they can connect with on social, right? That they can connect with on video, that they can trust just based on, oh, you know what? That person's my type of people. That's what happens, right? Oh, that person, that's really cool that they did that. Or you know what? Nah, that's inside, internally, they're connecting. But a lot of us don't allow for that connection to happen because sometimes you're just talking about real estate and you're missing a different audience. Now, I'm not saying just talking about real estate won't work because we've seen it work, right? But I want you to broaden your audience by doing things that bring in more people. Right? And how can we do that? Answer those 9 questions, right? That's the key. If we go back to the last question, when it comes to your job, what aspect of it are you amazing at? And then you start saying, got it. Okay, now I know. And look, if you ask me, the very first thing I think of is, oh man, I suck at a lot of things in real estate. Like when I was doing a lot more real estate and I didn't have a team, I sucked at showing property. I literally would be that agent that be like, and that's the kitchen and that's the bathroom. So I know what I sucked at. And I'm trying to think, what was I great at? I would be great at keeping the client calm, relaxed, and just having this process go as smooth as possible with their expectations. So you think about that question deeper. It's like, Got it. Now I know what to talk about more on social, right? So, Travis, great question. Are you posting as a story or regular post? When it comes to stories and you're looking at Instagram or TikTok, the story is what's happening through the day. So for example, right now, you could take out your phone and go, let me stop sharing this, and go through and do a quick story. And this is what's happening right now. It could be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. And you can post that both on TikTok and Instagram. When it comes to the actual post, right, the reel or the TikTok, the actual TikTok or a YouTube short, that's where you need to be a little bit more engaging. You need to either be telling me something story-wise, you need to be connecting with me through advice, you need to be either showing me something that's funny, giving me a fact, making me feel something, right? That's how you know the difference. A story just takes you through what's happening through the day. That's on the content side. And you know what? Let me add this calendar just in case you don't have it, which I think most of you have it because we send it out quite often. Let me drop the calendar. Now, that's thanks, Wendy. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's something that's probably my parents, right? Environment. Now, there, by the way, there's a link to the calendar. Now, this is part one. There's part two, though. See, a lot of us just create the content and never take time to engage. We never take time to go deeper with the people that we're following. We never go deeper into these relationships. And the people that succeed at a high level on social media, treat social media like it's a relationship, like it's an actual, everybody there is an actual real person they can connect with. And this is where you have to start thinking of social media like it's cold calling, door knocking, open houses, online leads, social media. Well, part of social media, right? Which one? TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Where are you going? Because it's going to require you to engage with people. It's going to require you to open up your phone, go to your feed, and now people are going to pop up that you're following. It's your job to connect with them. It's one simple graphic that I have that I'll share with you. First, I'll show it to you, and then I'll share it to you. And then, Jermaine, I see your question. I'll get to that one. It's something we call LCM. And it's like, comment, message. We do this 20 minutes a day. There's the graphic. There's not much to share on this one, but I'll share it with you. Let me see if I can grab it. I think this is a Dropbox link, so I think we can. You know what, Monch, can you get me a shareable link? I'm not sure if this is a shareable link or not, but let's hope it is. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm going to drop it. You guys can share it there. This is probably the fastest and best way to get engagement. In fact, when I showed this to Facebook, they then immediately turned it around and said, can you teach it to other businesses? And then we'll connect you. So they were so impressed because of two different reasons. One, a lot of people don't take time to engage. So if I'm going through, let me just show you on my Facebook exactly how it's done. I'm just going to pop up my Facebook and let's see what pops up here. So we're going to do this randomly. This is my Facebook. And you can do this on Instagram. You can do this anywhere. I'm going through a Facebook story popped up. First person that pops up on mine is Denise. She's a friend of mine. And it says, in today's mail, a bill for $6,100 due on or before October 31st. My $36,000 a year government job is coming back to bite me. CalPERS is requiring me to pay for my employer's errors dating back 2000. That sucks, right? So I'm going to comment with a wow. And then somebody beat me to it. I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And then I'm going to message her, right? Like comment message for 20 minutes a day. I'm going to message her. And I have a question. I'm like, what the hell is this? And how did that happen? Saw your post. What happened with CalPERS? That's it. No real estate, right? I'm not saying, hey, going to stop sharing really quick. I'm not dropping a message that says, hey, I'm in real estate. Do you have time to talk about real estate? No. That's not how you use this to connect and engage, right? That's a whole different world that you don't want to be in. This world that I'm talking about is authentic, because Denise, chances are pretty high. She's following me. I'm following her. She's on my feed. She already knows I'm in real estate. If she doesn't, I liked, I comment, I messaged. Chances are very high. As soon as she sees and responds to my message, which, by the way, 95% of messages done through these outlets, social media outlets, are responded back to. So you're going to get over text, over voicemail, over email, over everything. This is the best way. Number one, she's going to, after she messages me, chances are really high, she's going to check out my profile. And if I go to my profile, let's just show you, I'll show you what my profile is. Let's just go to Tristan. We're going to go through. For me, it shows that I'm a digital creator, right? And then it says Malibu, believer, awesome husband, cool dad, CEO of Lab Coat Agents, right? I've shifted our businesses. For you, I wanted to say real estate agent, the city. Tell me the city. Put your phone number on here. People go to profiles all day long. And if you don't have who you do or who you are, not who you do, well, I don't want to know who you do. But up here, I want to know who you are and what areas you cover. What do you do for a living? That needs to be there, because that's how people find out. Same thing on Instagram. Go to your Instagram. Go to the top. What it needs to look like, let me show you to make it easier for you. I'll just show you my Instagram. This is what it needs to look like. Simple, to the point, right? You've got a little emoji, Success Magazine people editor, a little emoji, Fortune 500 consultant, a little emoji, top 1% real estate entrepreneur, a little emoji, Lab Coat Agent CEO. And then put a link. It only allows one link. So what are you going to put? For me, I use a Beacons link. And then I have these up here. Join my newsletter, text me, and then other links. But you can have whatever you want up there pertaining to real estate. The point is, you shouldn't be spamming people telling them you're on real estate on social media. The way that social media is, people check on their own. And guess what happens when they check? I've told you this a few times. When they check, because they do check. When they check, what's Tristan up to? Number one, hopefully you've been posting and creating content. That's why we started with content, right? If somebody goes and checks me out, let's go back to my Facebook now. My Facebook, personal one. We're going to go, and now Denise is checking it out, and she's like, oh, what's Tristan up to? Then she's going to look at this. She's going to be like, oh, cool, great quote, or sucky quote, whatever she thinks. And then she's going to go 2 down. Typically, people look at 3 things. Next, she's going to be like, oh, it was Tristan's been together with his wife, and she knows my wife, 25 years. Great. And right, look, that one had a shit ton of engagement. And then she's going to go down 1 more, because people typically go down 3. And she's going to be like, oh, where did Tristan go to? That's awesome. Right. And now chances are, again, super high that she's going to message me back in between our conversation. And we're going to talk about, hey, Tristan, I saw you go somewhere. Or, hey, Tristan, happy anniversary. This happens all day. This is why I sit there and work on this for 20 minutes a day. The rest of the day, I'm just responding to messages, because we get 95% of them come back to us with questions or just responses, anything along those lines. And then this is the benefit. You ready? Because this is the biggest one. You just hack the algorithm on Instagram, on TikTok, on anything. Because now the fact that they clicked on your bio and they saw you, you will populate on their feed for the next couple of hours without you doing anything else. This is why it's important that you create the content. But it's just as important that you engage with people. And then people will ask you real estate questions. I literally do this with the team daily. Well, I don't know if my team does. I know Jacob does it daily. I do it daily. And I get people asking about real estate, asking about coaching, asking about a lot of different things. And guess what? Those are all opportunities for me. But a lot of you are not treating social media like an actual business, like an actual prospecting arm. That's where it changes. I need you to start looking at it that way. I need you to understand that this is just like open houses. This is just like cold calling. This is just like reaching out to your database and calling them and engaging with them. This is just like events. This is the key. This is the future. You need to start thinking of how can I run a business that attracts people? This is it, right? Let's see. Let's go to questions now. Jermaine, how do you find your target market? You know, there's two answers to this one, Jermaine. For me, when I wanted to target a specific area, I just decided to go there and start creating content for that area, meaning Malibu, right? That's how I started with that. I started going on Google PPC, Google pay-per-click, which we talked about in the past. And I bought a lot of the Google visits that people would go there. On social, I created content specifically for that. That's one answer. The other answer, if you're talking about, let's say the market is an audience, you start creating content that targets that audience. And both TikTok and YouTube do an amazing job finding the audience for you, depending on your content. You literally just create the content, you talk, it listens, and it finds the audience based on what you're saying. So this is where you need to sit down and say, well, if I have a specific market that I want to target or a specific area, how should I start my video content from now on? Hey, Malibu, I'm in Broad Beach. Now you've done two things there. Malibu, Broad Beach, only the locals will know. And the algorithm will start finding the people around there. So great question. Jeff, Jeff, you were on, buddy. I didn't see you. We've got a few minutes if you want to jump in, but I don't know if you, let me see if I can grab you, Jeff. Hold on, since we have Jeff on here, and then I'll go to the other questions. Jeff, there you are, buddy. Promote to panelist. I just promoted you, bud. We got a few minutes. Next question, Alex. Thank you for sharing. Oh, thanks for sharing all these nuggets. Yep, we got you. Tracy, what's your opinion on personal page or business page? What we've seen. What's up, Jeff? Oh, I'll ask you, buddy. What's your opinion on a personal page or a business page or both?
Business pages have two purposes. They are your yellow pages, aka if somebody is going to stalk you, they're shopping multiple agents, for example, and if you haven't posted anything since 2017, it might render you obsolete, right? They might think that you're just not legit. And so that's one reason to post there. The other reason, if you're going to run ads. Otherwise, it's a complete graveyard. So you shouldn't ignore it, but you shouldn't make it a priority. It's just a place to dump content in case that's like putting an ad in the yellow pages. That's it. You just want to be there. You want to have a listing. That's it. And if you're running ads, of course. But other than that, it's complete waste of effort.
Good. All right. And for those of you who don't know, Jeff Pfitzer, he's my business partner in Drunk on Social. We run a whole social media company, coaching side, and we run a lot of different processes through that. So welcome, Jeff. I'm just going to ask you the questions since most of the time we have this.
That may not be what they're bargaining for here.
No, but I'll disagree with you if you. Sometimes we disagree. Sometimes we disagree. All right, here we go. That was a great answer on that one. Oh yeah, if you have any questions, I always forget. I do coach. So, Susana, can you do me a favor? Put the coaching link there. Okay, Hogan. What's up, Okay, Hogan? I think we both know Okay, right,
oh, yeah.
Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
Good. How do you determine post to personal or business account?
Well, I think I kind of answered that. I mean, you put business content on your business page, and that's okay. And then the most profound business stuff you put over your personal. Otherwise, everything is pretty much going to your personal, but mainly authentic stuff. Don't litter your personal page with business. Otherwise, the algorithm will end up suppressing you because you're not going to be getting engagement. So you remember, like Tristan was saying, like, don't use social. He was talking about the LCM strategy. Don't use it to spam people. And if you're constantly posting business, you're spamming people. There's a game here. I call it a game, and it's called hacking the algorithm. And hacking the algorithm, aka getting on your audience's feeds, means you got to give them what they want. They don't want to see closing pictures. They don't care. They don't care what Fannie Mae's update is. They don't care what interest rates are doing by and large. That's not why they went to social. Hack their algorithm, but with what they want. And they want you as a human being. So give them that.
Yep. Good answer. I agree with you. Paul says, what about new people that you don't know? How do you engage with them? I think I'll answer part of that. And then Jeff, I want you to give the example about Ozarks. So part of that, Paul, is that you have to create content that attracts people. This way you get new followers. The other part of this goes with engagement. If you follow certain people that don't follow you back, the suggestion would be to like and comment. Don't message them because they won't see it, but you like and comment, and you do this continually, and you're now seen as a supporter of them, and sometimes they connect with you that way. The best way, though, if we go to what Jeff is doing at the Ozarks, I think that works really well. Jeff, can you explain what you've been doing there on TikTok?
Yeah, and then if I can digress just for a quick second too, based on what you were saying, remember that it's like a hit of dopamine. And think about what that means. And so when you post something on social media, and for many of you, that's few and far between. You're doing it very sparingly. For those of you that do it regularly, it doesn't matter. Whether you do it once a month, once a year, once a day, or multiple times a day, we all recognize and noticed engagement. It gives us a good feeling. And so if you have a target audience, for example, let's just say you're targeting a geographic area and you want to specifically target a business owner because you just want to get in good graces with them, it's a good strategy to target by AKA stalking them and then engaging with their post, because they're going to get that hit of dopamine and they're going to notice. And if you do it consistently, they're going to notice. And so, yeah, maybe I wouldn't drop them a DM right out of the gate if you don't know them, but just give them love, authentic love, not just emojis. Give them authentic love on their posts, and then you're opening the door for future connection. How does this relate to Ozarks?
Well, I want to know what you've been doing consistently to attract an audience, because part of it is also growing your audience so that you can go back to them and comment and engage with them.
Yeah, I mean, so what I'm doing, this is specifically to TikTok, is, I've done what we preach: just vomit a bunch of stuff and see what sticks. And over the last couple of years, I knew this was it, but I just, for whatever reason, I just had this block and I didn't go all in. I've recently gone all in on Ozarks content. And so I'm shifting my channel to be completely, let's just throw Ozarks out, a geographic area, a city, essentially, right? And so now I have pillars of content designed around that area. So it's lifestyle. It's going to be restaurant, local business highlights. It's going to be boating because it's around a lake. It's going to be answering questions. There's going to be a lot of different things. I've got like 6 or 7 of them. And so I'm just dedicating an entire TikTok channel just to that geographic area. And I am literally adding on a slow day, 5, on a good day, probably hundreds of followers a day. And people very clearly and distinctly know what my content is going to be about. They're choosing to be there. They're engaging like mad. I'm getting, some of my posts are getting thousands of comments, and it's just opening the door to position myself as that authority. And what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get more and more people reaching out, more and more people saying, will you do this for me? Will you do that for me? And you know what this means, right? It means I'm doing home tours. I'm doing home videos for friends that are listing their homes. Eventually, realtors are going to reach out to me saying, will you do mine? Because you're getting hundreds of thousands of views on your videos. And, is you as a real estate agent, if you did something like that and dedicated a strategy to it, people recognize your influence and they want that influence when they need your help. So whether they're selling a product or selling a home, they're going to seek you out. And that's really what you're after. I'm sure it'll turn into other ancillary opportunities, but really, I'm truthfully, transparently to this audience, I'm doing it just for fun and as a test, because really I just want proof of concept, because I know this will work. And then I'm just going to teach it and we're going to help other people do it.
Well, good answer. Do hashtags really help target audiences? They do. They do some. They do to initially have the algorithm decide who they're showing it to, and anybody searching. And the algorithm is so smart now that it listens to what you're saying. It knows your location. And then so it starts finding an audience for you based on who's engaging with it. So, and
if I can answer that. And so in relation to the Ozarks, I hashtag Lake of the Ozarks, Ozarks, Lotto, which is Lake of the Ozarks. And it's just a term. LOZ, which is also an acronym. And then, so I do those on every post. So they're geographic hashtags. Then I put in what's specific to the post. So today I had a post about there was somebody tubing on the lake. And so I did hashtag tubing, and then I do hashtag my brand. So geographic tags, 1 or 2 tags specific to the post, and then my brand every time.
I like that. I like that. And then notice what Jeff does. We do as well. The brand. You need a hashtag for you specifically. If you look at my hashtag on TikTok, I've got 1.6 million views because I use my whole name on almost everything I post. So that's important as well. Good one, Jeff. Do you time block for when you're responding to folks that engaged with you? I think, Jeff, I'm going to answer this for Jeff. No, not for response. We literally, I mean, I'll just go back to the response that I texted Denise, right? You watched me text Denise live over here. She texted back already. She said, the California retirement system is charging me for employers error, blah, blah, good stuff. I'm like, I already read it and I responded, that's nuts, right? Sorry, thanks. But again, not only are people going to respond with you here, but now you're allowing to connect with people. As soon as they respond, Jeff's recommendation, respond back. Don't wait a day to respond. Respond as fast as you can, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jennifer, the answer to this question is for most, yes, you're going to need a time block. You know, Tristan and I are kind of anomalies, and we eat, breathe, and sleep this. We love this, but it's also had a massive impact on our business. So it's like a crawl before you walk type of thing. Do it according to what works for your schedule and your life. But I can pretty much bet for most of you, if you feel the impacts like we have, then it starts to become you. And then it starts to become something that you actually love doing because you're getting so much from it. And so he and I, like every free second, you know, actually we sit on webinars and I know we're doing it when the other person's talking, the other one's doing stuff, you know, it's just how we operate. But
I just did it right now with Denise.
You just did it. Exactly.
Hilarious.
Exactly.
But remember, this is also a prospecting arm, right? When you start treating it that way, it's like when you get an online lead, are you responding as fast as you can? Hopefully you are. Same thing with this. Wendy has a comment or a question. Wendy, can you clarify it? But you said my title company shut mine down.
I think that's in regards to our business page, probably.
Business page. All right. I just have a personal one now with my. I think there's nothing wrong with going personal all the way. What do you think, Jeff? If that's the question.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it. You're not missing much.
All right. Soon. Oh no, here. I got a different one. Susan, what's the best way to get your content to people beyond your Facebook or IG friends or IG connections?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of ways. Obviously, first of all, are they on the other social networks? So cross-posting your content to other social networks. But if you're talking about outside social networks, you could be sharing your posts in email newsletters. You know, that's another way that you can do it. You could be sharing it to your website. You could be sharing it to your Beacon page. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you could be sharing your content. Yeah,
I agree. I think newsletter, it was said there, that's one. I think one other one is, like Jeff said, if we can start looking at the other channels that we're great at and posting there, it will attract other people as well. Like that's how I've been able to grow my YouTube channel, is posting it to Facebook primarily. And people continue to follow it just because of that initially. So great add on that. How can I view this lesson again? I'm going to leave that for Mach. Mach, how do people view this lesson again with us? And
Mach shared a question from Jonky on Facebook.
Oh, what was it? Where did it go? Do we
always have to? Yep.
Do we always have to comment? I lost it. Or can we have our social media managers comment as well for authenticity? The answer is we would prefer you comment all the time. That's just people aren't commenting on your personal stuff so that you have somebody else that's not you commenting. Look at Gary Vee. Gary Vee responds to almost all of his stuff personally. There's a reason.
Yeah. Once you get to a level to have a social media team, if you can train them correctly and they know what the fluff is, and it just requires a simple response and they can respond as if it's you, that's okay. And then that you have to train them though, to know when it's something that you should be commenting on, and then they alert you. But that's a super advanced strategy.
Yeah, I agree. And there's the last question here. Facebook business page, or what's that? What's the difference between that and a Facebook group?
Big difference. You can answer this.
All right. So I'll give you an example because this is the one we use all the time. I don't know if Blair's on here, but Blair is a friend of ours. He coaches with us, and he has a page called Living North Phoenix, right? Very specific to the area. And he has 15,600 members on here. And they're highly, highly engaged, right? Now people are choosing to be in this group. They comment, they ask questions about the area. What's the best place to eat? Hey, I need a plumber. I need an electrician. Hey, I need to rent a home. Questions like that. And they engage. And that will beat your page any day of the week, right? So that, to me, a group and a page you're going to use to put money behind and market, right? Facebook lead ads or boosting. A Facebook group, it's a community. People come in there to ask questions, to chat, to engage. Big difference. What, did I miss something?
No. Okay. Commented. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just, you probably noticed that it's a struggle to grow and get engagement with your business page. And that's because Facebook suppresses those accounts because they want you to pay. And that's why groups, go back to that question, now on the opposite end of the spectrum, Facebook's pushing groups. And so it actually shouldn't be too hard, okay, to start a group, and you can call it like a friends and family group. This is what I recommend to everybody. It's no different than a CRM, and you call it the OK Hogan Real Estate Team Friends and Family Group, and you use it as a CRM. Because the difference between that and a CRM is you're meeting them where they want to be met. They had chose to be in the Facebook group, and then you can just bludgeon them with meaningless content that's just mindless, right? That not meaningless, mindless is the right word. But more like just, which hairstyle do you like best? Which kitchen color do you like best? And you can throw in local geographic content, and then people are choosing to be there. They're seeing it. The algorithm's going to show it to your audience more often, and they're going to remember you. And that's why I'm a big fan of, we call it a social CRM.
I love it. All right. We went 15 minutes over. That's because we wanted to hear what Jeff had to say. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. I appreciate that.
Thanks for
that was awesome. And this is recorded, guys. It goes out to everybody who registered. We have almost 4,000 people registered for this, just for these coaching calls. So thank you for that. We appreciate you. If you have any questions to either coach with myself or Jeff and I do group coaching for social media together, which is great. And then I do real estate coaching, obviously, separate. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out to us. We put the links on there. We're on social, so you can message us. And Jeff, anything you want to add, buddy? Where do people follow you? What are you trying to grow?
Let's do it again. It depends what you're looking for. If you want to see authentic content, I recommend Instagram. If you want to see a very niched, specific content, go to TikTok and follow me there. Anywhere else, Jeff, and I'm on all of them. So
Jeff Pfitzer.
That's it. Easy to find. Same name on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Can't miss me.
Are you on MySpace?
Don't spell my name wrong.
Same name?
Do what?
Are you on MySpace with the same name?
Probably. I probably never closed the account.
You're safe. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jeff.
See ya.